Dear students, in this session we shall work one problem based on geometric progression. In a geometric progression, the product of three consecutive terms is 27 and the sum of the product of two terms taken at a time is 57 by 2. Find the three terms. Solution. Let the three terms of the GP be taken as A by R, A and AR respectively. It is given that the product of the three terms equals 27, which means A by R into A into AR equals 27. On simplifying the left hand side of the above step, we have A cube now to be equal to 27, which means A value equals 3. Also it is given that the sum of the product of two terms taken at a time is 57 by 2. Now let us take two terms at a time and then find the sum of product of these two terms. So first we will take the first two terms, namely A by R and A, right? So that gives us A by R into A. Then we will take the next two terms, namely A and AR, and finally we will take the next two terms, namely AR and A by R. So when we are finding the sum of product of these two terms taken at a time, we note that A by R into A plus A into AR plus AR into A by R will now be equal to 57 by 2. On further simplification, we have our next step to be A square by R plus A square into R plus A square equals 57 by 2. Now when we are removing A square to be the common factor, we have A square into 1 by R plus 1 to be equal to 57 by 2. Now what is the value of A? It is 3. Therefore A square becomes 3 square, that will be equal to 9. We note that our next step will be 9 into 1 plus R square plus R whole divided by R on simplification. So this will be now equal to 57 by 2. On cross multiplication, we therefore have 1 plus R square plus R to be equal to 57 into R whole divided by 2 into 9. That gives R square plus R plus 1 to be equal to 19R by 6. Again by cross multiplication, we note that 6 into R square plus R plus 1 will be equal to 19R. In other words, 6R square plus 6R plus 6 minus 19R will now be equal to 0. Here we have brought all the terms to the left hand side. That is how we have this step. We now have the quadratic equation, namely 6R square minus 13R plus 6 equals 0. We shall factorize and then find the values of R. Now 6R square minus 13R plus 6 can be written as 6R square minus 9R minus 4R plus 6. This will be obviously equal to 0. By taking 3R to be the common factor for the first two terms, we have 3R into 2R minus 3. Also we are taking minus 2 to be the common factor for the next two terms, which gives us minus 2 into 2R minus 3. Therefore our next step becomes 3R into 2R minus 3 minus 2 into 2R minus 3 equals 0. This gives 2R minus 3 into 3R minus 2 equals 0, which means either 2R minus 3 equals 0 or 3R minus 2 equals 0. That implies 2R equals 3, which means R value equals 3 by 2. Also 3R minus 2 equals 0, which implies R value equals 2 by 3. Now when A equals 3 and when R equals 3 by 2, let us write the first three terms of the GP. We therefore have the terms to be A by R, A and AR, which will give us 3 into 2 by 3, that is 2, and of course A value equals 3, and A into R will give us 3 into 3 by 2, which will be 9 by 2. Therefore the first three terms will be 2, 3 and 9 by 2. Whereas when we are taking the value of R to be 2 by 3 and of course A value to be equal to 3, we have the next set of values to be A by R, A and AR, which correspondingly gives the values to be 9 by 2, 3 and 2. Therefore the three terms now will be 9 by 2, 3 and 2. Therefore the required three terms of the GP will be 2, 3 and 9 by 2 or 9 by 2, 3 and 2. Thank you students.